episode is this? 20?
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Yeah, trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Yeah, so let's just begin. Stitch Gang. Oi, Stitch has Stitch Gang the Tour Part 20. Wow, that's a long time. Yeah.
We're almost able to buy alcohol legally.
Heck. My name is Frank Rodriguez. I'm your host. With me, as always, my co-host, DJ Drinkman. You can see him all over Southwest DJing. He's also a black belt on the Crystal Trail fighting system. Whoa. You were training today, Tyrone. How'd it go?
It was fun, dude. I'm working a lot on my movement, my lateral movement, so that's fun. Also, I couldn't find my flashy tie shorts, so I could take a picture of me in them and then make a weird Pharrell joke or something like that.
Yeah, tie shorts are big now, right?
Yeah, it's weird. I wondered where that came from. I saw an MTV News correspondent wearing some Lumpini Stadium tie shorts, and then I saw Pharrell. Then I saw, was it Chief Keef's Baby Mama and that 6ix9ine diss video? And I think that I'm wondering where it came from. I want to know who saw it and figured they would just wear tie shorts. And I don't blame them. They're comfy.
What influencer influenced these people? Genius has a news division, and they have the same thing. It's they have correspondence. So now I want to be a Genius correspondent. I feel like it's more appropriate.
Dude, you should look into that, dude.
Yeah.
Do they have offices in New York?
Yeah. They have offices here. Gonna send them a link.
There's a lot that's happened in the music world, in the space that we inhabit.
Yeah, I feel like we can't. It's hard for us. I think part of the concept of the show, we do deep dives. We don't do, current events and stuff like that. So, but there's certainly going to be a lot of stuff for us to cover, in the coming months. A lot of big releases. But this week we're talking about what do you call it? The debut album from Interscope signee Juice WRLD, the $3 million boy. Goodbye and good riddance. I remember when they... He's 19.
Yeah.
When they announced it, I was I couldn't figure out how to listen to his music because it was all on SoundCloud. So actually, this last week was... Oh, no, wait. We started listening to this a while back. When it dropped, we started listening to it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I remember you sent me... Was it for Lucid Dreams? You sent me a link after it was announced that he got signed?
Yeah.
For that much money?
Yeah, did I?
And then I remember, I think you sent me a link, and then I was like, oh, wow, this is okay. And then when this record dropped, I decided to check it out, and I'm hooked. Yeah,
I really like this thing. Yeah, $3 million. I don't know if that's a lot or it's a lot. Yeah, he's 19.
I'd imagine in this day and age.
Yeah, he's 19, and his main producer, Nick Mira, is a 17-year-old high school student.
I know. After you told me that, I looked through all of a lot of the tracks on Goodbye and Good Riddance, and he's done a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, he's the main producer on here.
Good for him.
And he kind of, according to him, his partner, Side Piece, discovered him, and then they sort of tried to make him a thing. Try to work with him. I think the first one to hit was All Girls Are the Same.
And Lucid Dreams is blowing up too.
Yeah.
I think it's carrying this album with as far as streaming numbers are concerned.
Yeah. Originally I was we've talked about singing rappers so much on this freaking show. And I was what? I don't want to do another episode where we talk about that shit. But, this album's so addictive, and it's really... I feel like it's kind of a not watershed moment. It's going to be an important moment, when people look back. I don't know how long his legacy will be, but it'll be all right, Lil Uzi Vert happened, and Lil Peep happened, and XXXTentación happened, and all that was around the time of Post Malone being like the biggest singing dude. And then this random 19-year-old kid got a $3 million deal. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of a cynical play on the label's part, because I don't know. This stuff is sort of amateur and very SoundCloudy.
Oh yeah, totally.
But also like I could also just see him. I was thinking about it today. I like went and listened to Post Malone's hits, and I just thought, I mean, he's already racing up the charts. I think he's gonna have the #1 album soon. But my thought was just that like he could replace Post Malone, and that would be a net positive probably, because I like him better than Post Malone. Though.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's in terms of like the hooks and overall like just the overall package. I think he has a lot more to offer than Post Malone.
Yeah, I mean, but
like I don't know what it is.
I would think that he would need to be even dumber and more basic to become Post Malone. So I think to become that, he would to battle Post Malone, he would have to become him. But anyway, and actually,
he doesn't have any face tattoos, so he's not quite there.
Yeah, yet. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't have any of the. I don't, like any like iconography. Like I didn't really know what he looked like until I watched some genius like making of videos.
Like the only real thing he has in common with a lot of those guys is that he has like the baby dreads, but that's like that's it.
He likes to wear dog
no visible
collars.
Face tattoos or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's really weird, like because I didn't quite know how to feel about it when I first heard it and when I became initially hooked. And it's hard to avoid the Lil Peep comparisons, and not even so much comparisons, but think about it in that context. Like, is this the next evolution of that sort of genre, because it seems like a lot more, and he explains it in a lot of interviews that he's like more influenced. I guess he's influenced by the same stuff as Lil Peep, but Lil Peep's is like overall atmosphere was a little bit more dark.
Yeah,
and more brooding. I think the music for Peep was a little bit more brooding, whereas for this particular package, it's all like pretty upbeat and a lot of the same lyrical content rather.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an evolution. I mean, like if, like let's say let's say he becomes huge, he becomes the next Post Malone. Like, I think that would have been Peep like in 2 years. Mm-hmm. But
you think so?
Yeah. I mean, I think Peep was going to be huge, but
yeah,
this is like, it's not an evolution of Peep. It's kind of just like taking like some parts that like the easiest to understand parts, and kind of
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And putting it and putting it down with not much nuance,
Yeah, that's what I think you perfectly like described, I guess, my feelings on it, because it seems like with a lot of Peep's music there's a little bit more to unravel, whereas Juice WRLD's kind of like it's a prettier package, but like I guess when it comes to like at bare bones it's not much different, but it's not, I don't want to say it's dumbed down, but it kind of is.
I mean, it's just yeah, I mean, it is dumb. I mean, first of all, he's not just taken from Peep, but just compared to Peep, it is. I mean, the writing just isn't as deep. It's so he grabs for the easiest metaphors and like the corniest words, like just saying like, "And all girls are the same." Just like I'm going to drown in my sorrow, like.
Sipping. Drink the whole bottle.
Yeah, but it's he kind of just tells you that he's sad, and like I keep thinking of it in the context of the immortal writing advice of show don't tell. He does a lot of telling. He just tells you, I'm sad, someone broke my heart, therefore I'm doing a lot of drugs. Whereas Lil Peep will tell you, he'll show you more. He'll describe how he'll describe what his feelings are making him do. Like it's kind of like it's more detailed than this.
Let me see. Like you said, there's more nuance to his overall struggle or his lyrical content. Like, but here it's like, he he does say, and he says these kinds of obvious lines all the time. And in a sense, it's like he wears his influences even more on his sleeve than most, I think, people that are most other rappers that are kind of championing the sound. I mean, shit. I mean, he prefers that his rap be called alternative rap as opposed to like emo
he uses
rap.
those same alternative rock tags on SoundCloud that XXXTentación used. It's such a like this album is the Juice WRLD moment is the triumph of the black nerd. I think because this guy is like he's I mean he's so he's kind of lame. Yeah, to be honest, like if you told me he was actually straight edge and kind of a happy guy, I would believe you. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's just doing this as a genre exercise. Okay, yeah,
you wouldn't totally be surprised. Oh, okay.
I don't know anything about him personally, but
and I think his overall image like made it hard for me to believe that he was from Chicago. I mean, and because all the experiences that I have with Chicago rap often involved like a different kind of more like.
He's from Chicago, but his producer Nick Mira first became famous for doing a song for XXXTentación and Trippie Redd. Yeah, Fuck Love. So he's more than being a Chicago rapper. Yeah. I don't even know if you would call him that. He's just a SoundCloud rapper. He exists in this like ethereal world of the SoundCloud rap genre. He's related more to Lil Peep and XXX than like anyone in Chicago, I would think.
And I'm just curious, like, what's the beat on this guy? Like, have you seen him being championed by anybody? Like any mainstream outlets?
I don't know. Actually, I the reason I thought we should do, because I think I originally said we should do it, then I hesitated, then I said we should do it again, and part of it is that there weren't a lot of reviews of this. I think only Pitchfork was the major. Pitchfork was the only major publication that did a full review of it.
Yeah, I saw like a lot of websites, but it's all like all the ratings and what have you are all based on user engagement, and based upon that, it could either be really bad or really good.
Yeah, it's kind of just like listened. Yeah, those aren't like real reviews; they're more like
it's just weird considering that this is like a pretty big release, and like you mentioned earlier, it's like climbing the charts in terms of like streaming numbers. Like Lucid Dreams is going to be like a #1 hit song, and I saw somebody on Twitter mention like the only rappers from Chicago that have had #1 songs are like Kanye or Chance.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's for as much traction that he's gaining, like I'm not hearing a whole lot about it. Like the only people I know that listen to Juice WRLD are people that I've said, "Hey, you should listen to Juice WRLD," because I can't stop listening to Juice WRLD.
Yeah, the critics are ignoring the teens and their chosen heroes. Yeah, this is like what Post Malone hath wrought. But I mean, I feel like I'm always like start with the critical stuff because I think just the critical stuff is more interesting. But
most definitely.
I think I listen to this a lot, and I'll probably listen to it after we finish talking about it. But
I mean, there are songs on here that I just listen to on repeat.
Yeah,
and it's crazy because like I'm in my 30s and I'm like singing along to a song about. Like somebody's heart hurting because he doesn't know if something like his like I don't know, just addressing his insecurity as like this teenager. It's kind of funny.
It's universal stuff. That's why.
Yeah,
that's
we
why
all
it's like
feel feels.
Yeah. That's why it's sort of. That's why I feel like it's sort of generic and empty because it's just like. Yeah. Yes, heartbreak, blah blah blah.
Yeah, I mean it's relatable. I mean teens are gonna eat it up. I'm sure if he plays here, I'll be surprised by the turnout. Like I was.
Oh yeah, what the other thing I was gonna say about his like persona is, this is a really, all of these songs are sad. There's no like, there's no like really fun ones, but maybe I'll Be Fine, the last one, but.
Yeah. Did you? What do you? Now that we mentioned that, what do you think about the skits? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean,
man, they're funny.
the skits to me are they're necessitated by like his writing style, by his tell don't show writing style. They stand in for the showing, because it's kind of like all the sad stuff is a reaction to this, but like instead of showing you this, they just put it in the form of a skit to bring everything together.
And
But
it's
they
just
are
like super dramatic. Like, and the like the narrative that the skits create is like super funny to me. It's just like it's just what you would expect from a teenager that's been, that's had his heart broken. It's like, first of all, it's like she's ignoring me, then now I'm ignoring her, and then it kind
and
of
then I blow up, and then
end.
she's trying to call me.
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, it's a very simple narrative that it paints. But yeah, I mean, I think they are supposed to be funny. They also introduced the only humor into this record, because I don't think he's a very funny guy.
And he's and just as an aside, like he seems like he's legitimately talented. I watched a vlog from a channel whose name shall not be mentioned, but it's like studio footage, and like it seems like he's got his whole thing down. And he mentions that he was like freestyling as a teenager, and it seems like he's owned some of that skill. And to see what he does like in the studio is like pretty impressive. So it's like I'm curious to see what he does. Yeah,
there's a couple songs on here that used to the 9th track, where he's like, "Oh, I like that. I'm gonna freestyle it," and then the freestyle is all all the same lyrical content about heartbreak and being sad. So it's kind of like, all right, is this? So you're freestyling off the top of your head the saddest things you can think of, and how it's driving you to do drugs. Like, it doesn't. I mean,
it's just the same old narrative, right? So I imagine what you're trying to say is that it's easier for him to freestyle in that sense because his content doesn't change that much.
Yeah, but it's also,
at least that's what I'm like. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, I guess my other point is that like it's not from lived experience. He's just grabbing his go-tos and like remixing them. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like the content here isn't lived in. It's just kind of acted out.
How dare you assume that he hasn't had his heart broken multiple times?
I'm sure he's had his heart broken, but he doesn't make me feel like I know he's had his heart broken. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it's not, the emotional impact isn't there for me. Whereas like with to bring up Peep again, with like some of Peep songs, I'm like, damn, I feel that. Like I really feel that. Yeah.
And also like, it's kind of he plays with that, by leaving in that part where he's freestyling. Also in the intro skit, the woman is yelling about him, talking shit, and then she kind of breaks. She starts laughing, and she says like, "Oh, I can't talk that much shit, haha." And like putting that in is kind of, establishing a really casual and a fun tone. Like, this is fun music, even though all of the content is, if you just read it like as poetry, is really not. I'm not gonna say sad, but like melodramatic and.
Yeah, there sad. You go. I think melodramatic is more fitting than sad. Definitely.
Which is, that's fine. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it all makes sense based upon what he's influenced by. Like all of this just makes sense, and it's fine with me. Yeah. Like I feel like he might be somewhat self-aware of what he's putting out into the world, or he couldn't be. I'm not sure. There's not a whole lot of coverage on him that falls out. That comes from, one or two outlets, so there's not like a whole lot to be learned based upon what's actually out there.
Really new. The only review I'm seeing is Pitchfork. The only review that's quoted on Wiki is Pitchfork's. That's weird. So hopefully maybe Stitch Gang the Tour can get on there.
Oh yeah, we'll have to. Well, I mean, we can edit it, right? So we can just put in drips and drabs from our discussion.
One of the fans.
Yeah.
can
One of the
please,
Stitch heads.
If you're listening and you know how to edit Wikipedia, there's only one review on the wiki page, so I feel like they wouldn't be mad if you added another one. So, favorite songs. I mean, it's I would have to go with Lucid Dreams, the easy answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably just the best song. That Sting guitar sample is sweet. He doesn't deviate very much from.
Not at all.
He doesn't deviate very much from the Juice WRLD sound. So which is fine. It's his first thing. So I feel like, we have the hits in the beginning and then it's just more Juice WRLD. Yeah, was that your favorite one too, Lucid Dreams?
No, actually, I think my favorite is probably Candles. That chorus really hit me first. I think it was the first chorus that I really was like, all right, cool. Yeah, I dig it. But Lucid Dreams is good. I'm Still is a favorite of mine, mainly just because it's like the excessive amount of bitches on this song.
Yeah.
It's like I'll just be walking in my kitchen in the morning and just be like, and just, rap his line, bitch, I'm still flexing with my heart broken.
I was singing that in the kitchen when my roommate walked in, and I felt exposed for a second.
Is it one of your newer ones? They thought you were cool. No, they don't think you were
no,
cool anymore?
It's Tyler. But I mean, it's even more corny than what I usually listen to.
Well, you said he drilled you after you showed him Lil Peep, right? So I'm sure
he's the one who hated Lil Peep. Yeah. Oh yeah, one of the other things I was gonna say, compared to to continue the Lil Peep comparisons, his fun oh, all right, I'm gonna freestyle. All right, let's go in, and then talk about shit, and then compared to Lil Peep, who's just mumbling and it's just and it's you can barely understand him. He's obviously on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I say that if you told me he was sober, I would believe it.
Oh yeah, he's too enthusiastic.
Yeah,
for me to believe that he's a leaner, as he so states in Candles.
But yeah, I think this is a valuable and very interesting addition to the new emo rap canon that we're forming in these last few years. It's
definitely a somewhat of a departure from all of the stewards of the genre. It's a little bit more upbeat, and I don't think he takes himself that seriously. It seems.
I don't know if I wouldn't call it a departure. I feel like it's just he's distilling all of it into just very into maybe the simplest form.
True. That's a good point. He's kind of consolidating all of what's out there and making it a little bit more palatable.
Yeah,
for the kids.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a hardcore song on it, so.
Yeah, he actually does have a song like that though on his SoundCloud that is just basically a Tentación jack.
I received something of some criticism regarding how much I've been listening to this, but it's just for what it is, it's really fun. I mean, granted, I do feel weird as a man in his 30s enjoying, music obviously aimed at teens, but it's you can't deny a hook, ultimately it's not I don't really consider it a rap album, but it's pop music.
Yeah, I don't think people should be criticizing you. Post Malone is the biggest rap star in the world, basically. This is better than that. Yeah,
exactly. He arguably has better tracks.
Well, he has a new song that's really huge now. The one with
was it
Ty Dolla $ign? Yeah. That song's so. I was listening to his stuff because I wanted to get context for the market he's entering.
Yeah.
And so I listened just to the top Post Malone songs, and man, It's very. I don't know. It's just so corny.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, and it's just like this weird acceptance by his his fans. They're just like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Rockstar gets stuck in my head every time I hear it, like for like 2 weeks. That's kind of like an undeniable song, but at the same time, it's I don't know. It just reminded me of like listening to Chainsmokers or something. It's like just it's very white. I'll say that too. Yeah. if we even just got Juice WRLD to replace him, we'd have less super whiteness,
less
in
white
in the rap
music.
World. Well, not less
caucasity in the rap game.
Yeah, caucasity. But yeah, I recommend it. Pitchfork gave it a 6.4. I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah, I think a 7's fine. I mean,
maybe more than that.
I would love to hear Fantano's review of this.
Did he? Yeah, we got to get Fantano on here, man.
Oh,
we have a special guest. We're gonna get a big guest next week, and his name.
I'm really hoping that comes.
And we're big fans of Fantano, so put those two together. Who could it be? Let's just say he's one of the biggest critics in the rap world.
Oh,
and one of the best.
But no, man. I would say I suggest this. I've I've been a huge Juice WRLD champion in Albuquerque amongst my 30+ friends. I've been like for real. I've just been like, yo, check it out. It's like it's catchy, you know.
Yeah.
Like, pause the Snail Mail. That's that new band, right? That new gal that's making music. Or pause the Mitski for a second and listen to some Juice WRLD.
Is Mitski really popular in Albuquerque?
Oh yeah, dude. She actually played Malwolf on Thursday, the same night I went to that death metal show in Santa Fe, and there was a lot of people there.
I feel like there would be cuter girls at the Mitski show.
Oh yeah, there were actually girls at the Mitski show. Where I was just in a garage with a bunch of Hessians rocking out. But yeah, I mean, I dig it. I highly recommend this album, and I feel like there's going to be a lot more discussions and a lot of discourse to be had surrounding this genre and ultimately like where it does go.
Yes.
So I'm curious.
Stay tuned. I feel like we have to cover the evolution of this genre. Maybe we'll even review. Well, I don't know. I was gonna say review Post Malone, but
no way, dude.
Anyway.
19 tracks of like 5 minutes plus songs. No thanks, dude.
They're so long, aren't they? Too.
Yeah. It's fucking bullshit. And that's one of the cool things about this Juice WRLD record is that every song's like under 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's a nice tidy package.
Yeah.
All right, so next week I think we're dedicated to doing Nasty.
I think we definitely should do Nasty.
From another Interscope signee, Rico Nasty, the best Nasty rapper since Vanessa. Maybe they'll collaborate.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Juice Rico track with a Juice WRLD hook
over a Kenny beat.
Yeah,
man, Kenny.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Check out this Nasty thing, and we'll talk about it. Peace.
Yes, peace.
Oh wait, and also follow us on Twitter. Subscribe. Twitter @StitchGang. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or whatever you use to listen to your podcast.
And we're on fucking Spotify, so nobody has any excuses.
Yes, whatevs. And give us some feedback. StitchGangTheTour@gmail.com, or just tweet us. Let us know what you think. And
I mean, we're always up for rap discussions. We're all over Twitter, so
yeah, add us.
Holler at your mans.
All right, peace for real.
Bye.
Bye.